Right now, I'm experiencing a lot of emotional pain. And I would like to show you firsthand what I normally do to deal with it, to handle it, what I do. So when I do have the opportunity, I will just sit down somewhere where I can be by myself, where I will not be disturbed. And I start by just taking some big breaths to sort of land here and now, and just feel the different emotions. And it's like I give myself permission to feel them, and I give the emotions the validation and the acknowledgement that they need to be released. I'm not doing this in order for me to feel better, to release them. It's about being honest, open to this moment, and to feel and look at that which is presenting itself without going up in the head. It's a matter of feeling the different emotions and or sensations in the body. And just giving the emotions permission to be there, to show themselves. Just creating this space of openness and acceptance. It's okay. Feeling emotional pain is a part of life. But it's when we suppress it, when we ignore it, when we push it aside, when we try to numb it, hide from it, run from it, then that's when it builds up this pressure. That's when we keep adding and adding and adding and adding until we explode or implode. But when we can have the courage to feel the various emotions as they arise, or at least not wait too long until they arise, because obviously it's not always the right moment. Sometimes, when you're at work or doing syndrome, you might have to wait until you have a little bit of space for it by yourself to really give the emotions the space that they might need. But sometimes it's enough just having the willingness and openness and the courage to feel them wholeheartedly. Sometimes that's enough to just do like that, boom, and it's just gone. And just this peace is there. And other times, it can take hours or days. This is not an exercise to be able to feel good, because that's missing the point. It's about being present, honest, open, and feeling that which is, or wants to show itself, what wants to be released. Sometimes I will do this in movement as well, dancing, rocking, shaking, sometimes under the shower, out in nature. The best is when you will not be disturbed. So refrain from looking at phones or emails, or to just sit with the emotions and the sensations in the body. And you might note how it shifts. What might have started as maybe a pressure over the chest is felt somewhere else, like a clenching, what do you call it, contraction of the stomach, or pressure over the head, feeling of built up of tears behind your eyes. Realize that nothing is static. So what might first feel like maybe one emotion, like anger, can then turn into sadness. So it's like a dance, or like waves coming and going, different sensations and emotions. I've done this a lot, especially over the last few years. So I'm used to not adding any thoughts to it, to the process. It can be a bit difficult in the beginning as people start with this. It's easy to get carried away by thoughts. But as you start to notice any thought patterns arising, just go back to the present moment, to your emotions and the various sensations in your body, to your breath. But don't get too carried away about looking at other things or listening to too many other things, other things, as you can do in other mindfulness exercises. This is more of focusing on yourself, on the different bodily sensations and the emotions. It's about accepting, welcoming, and seeing all the different shifts without clinging on to anything, without trying to change anything, push away anything. It's like a surrendering to this moment, to that which is presenting itself. And not knowing if it's going to get better, if it's going to get worse, if you're going to feel even more painful, or you will just feel complete peace, to not get attached to that. Just let it have it's the process. It's common to think that it's our thoughts that create our emotions. Sometimes it's like that, but not always. Our thoughts, they can create suffering. Because when we have resistance to feeling that which is, when we try to blame ourselves or someone else or justify or criticize, push away, hide, all those things that turns the pain into suffering. But when we dare to feel the pain in the moment, we release the pressure. It doesn't build up then. And when we learn to do this without commenting on it, without creating a story around the pain, then it will have its natural flow. It will stay for as long as it needs to, and then it will disappear. And it will not accumulate in our emotional baggage. Just like physical pain happens sometimes, emotional pain happens in life. It's inevitable. But we don't have to be scared of it. The best is to face it as soon as we can when it arises. We feel it. Even when it just starts, these more subtle feelings of like boredom or frustration, even then to just stop and acknowledge that and feel it. Because when we push that aside, it will build up and become stronger. And it can easily turn into heavier and heavier emotions that will be more persistent. Because the more we try to push away or hide from them, the more persistent and the stronger they get. So now, I'm already starting to feel this release. And that might last, or there might come another wave of sadness. And that's okay. I'm giving it space and I'm giving it time. And either way, it's okay. But it's a beautiful, very powerful exercise. Do not accumulate emotional baggage, to not add to it. And with time, if you get into the habit of doing this, you can also remove old trauma and old stored emotional baggage as well. That can start to come up and you feel it, you see it. And it turns into a beautiful process. It's a bit like if you have children and when they're a bit naughty, it's not like you stop loving them or giving them any attention or care. It's the same with your emotions. Even though they get a bit complicated and difficult and painful, you look at them, you validate them, you give them what they need. I'm just noticing now just how the energy is shifting. And I'm just noticing how the energy is starting to flow again in a different way. almost feels like a bit like having a shower, having a nice bath. So especially if you're going through something difficult, something painful, something traumatic, if you have some type of ongoing, really challenging life situation, try to do this as often as you can. It will help you so much, both now but also for the future, of not building up this immeasurable pain that becomes suffering if you suppress it, if you resist it. Because what happens when you suppress your emotions, the painful emotions, for a long time, it can turn into depression, panic attacks, anxiety, burnout, fatigue, obsessive compulsory disorders. So by just getting into the habit of having these little emotional cleanses, you could say, letting off pressure, steam, but more so it's about being honest with yourself, being courageous as well, because yes, it is painful, but it's painful now for a bit, not immense suffering for years to come. I can really feel now how there's been this almost like a blockage, not quite, more of like a dense energy that now has been like transmuted into this higher energy vibration. It's like I have this feeling of that I get when I've been sitting in deep meditation for like an hour. So when you do this little practice, please don't do it in order to feel good, to not feel the pain, because then you're missing the point. Then you're having resistance to feeling it, and that's not what it's about. If it happens, it happens. Thank you for watching.